Very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Well, in our top focus, there's a big boost for BJP ahead of further assembly polls. Now, the Supreme Court has rejected the plea for a court-monitored SIT probe into bribery allegations against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Well, that and much more in this bulletin in the next half an hour. Let us start with the headlines. Supreme Court refuses SIT probe into alleged Birla Sahara payoffs to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, says the random materials are meritless. Amazon removes the doormats resembling the Indian tricolour after Indian government threats to rescind visas of the company's employees. Army foils infiltration bid along the line of control, kills 2 terrorists in Poonch. Attempt comes after 9th of January terror attack on GREF camp in Akhnur. And Russia was indeed responsible for the hacking ahead of the election, says Donald Trump for the first time, but disputes intelligence reports that Moscow acted to help him win. Well, in a big blow to the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi, the Supreme Court on Wednesday rejected a petition seeking a probe into the Sahara diaries, saying that there was no conclusive evidence. Well, the apex court dismissed senior lawyer Prashant Bhushan's PIL for investigation into the documents seized in the income tax raids, which had names of politicians including Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Sheila Dikshit. Now, dismissing the plea, the Supreme Court said that there was no conclusive evidence to order for an inquiry, as mere diaries and loose sheets cannot be taken as admissible evidence in the court. Well, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi, remember, had last year accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi of personal corruption for taking kickbacks from Sahara and Aditya Birla Group in 2014 when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, and demanded a probe into the matter.
ये तो इन्फॉर्मेशन है जो कि इनकम टैक्स ने सीज किया, इनकम टैक्स ने उसका अप्रेजल किया, इनकम टैक्स ने उन्हें सही माना, जो ये दिखा रहे हैं कि बहुत सारे लोगों को सहारा के केस में तो कि किस किस दिन कितना कितना अमाउंट कहां पर किसने जाकर किसको दिया, और उसकी 50 एंट्रीज हैं, जिसमें कि 9 एंट्री तो मोदी जी की हैं 40 करोड़ की.
Meanwhile, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi singled out Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the demonetization exercise that he said had heaped untold hardships on the common man. Now, addressing Jan Vedna Sammelan of the Congress, he alleged that the note ban decision had been a personal decision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. While accusing the ruling party of unleashing a climate of fear, Rahul Gandhi exhorted his party workers to counter it. He also accused the BJP of weakening national institutions. Well, the Congress Vice President also highlighted several shortcomings in the NDA government's 2.5-year rule, saying that Modi's promise of Achhe Din will only be realized when the Congress return to power.
Not only their sweat. ये दो फिलॉसफीज की लड़ाई है. एक फिलॉसफी, कांग्रेस पार्टी की फिलॉसफी कहती है डरो मत, और दूसरी फिलॉसफी कहती है डरो और डराओ. डिमोनेटाइजेशन का मैसेज क्या है मैं बताता हूं. हिंदुस्तान के देशवासियों, आपका भविष्य नरेंद्र मोदी के हाथ में है. सिर्फ नरेंद्र मोदी जी के हाथ में और किसी के हाथ में नहीं. फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इन आवर हिस्ट्री, a Prime Minister of India is being ridiculed the world over.
And earlier, the top leaders of the Congress party came together at the party's Jan Vedna rally in the national capital to criticize the demonetization exercise of the Modi government. Now, describing the initiative as being ill-advised, many leaders, including former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, said that far from the common man's hardships being over, the worst was yet to come.
The one-day Jan Vedna conclave of the Congress party on Wednesday saw top leaders of the party going all out against the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the issue of demonetization. while former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh termed demonetization as a disaster, saying it has hit the employment generation. Leader of opposition in the upper house, Ghulam Nabi Azad, categorized it as the biggest scam in India's history.
What a disaster this demonetization move was. It has hurt the country very badly. The things have gone from bad to worse in the last 2 months, but I venture to think that the worst is yet to come.
कि अब दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा स्कैम ये नोटबंदी है। ये सबसे बड़ा स्कैम है। जब भी इसकी इंक्वायरी होगी, कैसे इंक्वायरी होगी, कब होगी, लेकिन आज मैं ये दावे से कहता हूं कि दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा स्कैम।
Former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram also pointed out the flaws in the note ban decision and raised a question on the cabinet meeting held on 8th of November. General Secretary of the party, Ahmed Patel, also termed the leaders of the ruling party as arrogant.
The RBI could not have recommended remonetization. How is the cabinet waiting? RBI's recommendation comes to the cabinet. And I'm going to tell you something. According to the records that we have been able to access so far, there is no record of a cabinet meeting.
आज एक ऐसी सरकार सत्ता में है कि जिनके लोगों में एक अहंकार है, एक घमंड है, और जैसे समझ रहे हैं कि सत्ता में आए हैं तो कभी सत्ता से जाएंगे ही नहीं।
The Congress party also released a booklet on the issue of demonetization and paid homage to those whom the party alleged died due to the decision. Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV, Delhi.
And reacting to Rahul Gandhi's remarks, none of BJP has said that he was becoming a spokesperson for those with black money. The party claimed that the entire country today was backing the Prime Minister in the war against black money.
ये ऐसी आलोचना करना, कुछ ना कुछ बेकार आरोप करना, उसमें कोई मतलब नहीं है. What is the scam in this? There is nothing. This is openly done, transparent, and then everybody has been asked to account for the money they have. Where is the scam? The Congress party is worried about the growing popularity of Sri Narendra Bhai Modi.
उनको मालूम होना चाहिए कि देश की जनता को उनके जरिए भड़काने की सारी कोशिशें नाकाम हो गई हैं. देश की जनता पूरी तरह से प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के साथ खड़ी है और काले धन के खिलाफ जो नरेंद्र मोदी जी का अभियान है उसको देश के 125 करोड़ लोगों का समर्थन प्राप्त है.
Meanwhile, the Trinamool Congress took its protest against the Narendra Modi government's demonetization move to President Pranab Mukherjee for the third time on Wednesday. Now, a delegation of 30 TMC MPs met the president and submitted a memorandum to him alleging the super emergency had been imposed in the country. The MPs also held Prime Minister Narendra Modi responsible for the death of 120 people caused allegedly by the demonetization move and sought President Mukherjee's intervention as they said that the situation had turned grim. They also alleged vendetta politics being played out by the centre against the opposition party, highlighting the arrest of senior TMC MPs Sudeep Bandyopadhyay and Tapas Pal by the CBI in Kolkata in the Rose Valley Chit Fund scam case. On to some other news now. Well, just weeks ahead of the Union Budget, now Reserve Bank Governor Urjit Patel urged the centre to take steps to cut high central and state borrowings to ensure good policy housekeeping for stable macroeconomic candidates. In fact, speaking at the Gujarat Summit, Vibrant Gujarat Summit in Gandhinagar, Patel said that the government debt to GDP ratio was taking its toll on the country's sovereign ratings. He cited International Monetary Fund data to show that the country's deficit is one of the highest among G20 countries. Well, the RBI governor also said that the government needed to be mindful of subsidizing credit or providing credit guarantees as such schemes can add to the government debt.
We have to take cognizance of these comparisons and facts as we go forward to make progress. Specifically, this will help us to better manage risks for ourselves and thereby mitigate financial volatility. While some government guarantees and limited subventions can help, steep interest rate subventions and large credit guarantees also impede optimal allocation of financial resources and increases moral hazard.
On to the other top story of the day. Well, the Amazon.com has removed doormats resembling the Indian tricolour from its Canadian website. Well, this came after Indian government's threat to rescind the visa of the US company's employees if they did not stop selling the product. Well, the development came after a Twitter user brought to External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj's attention that Amazon Canada was selling doormats featuring the Indian flag. Well, Sushma took to Twitter saying that Amazon must tender an unconditional apology. They must withdraw all the products insulting our national flag immediately. She further went on to say that if this was not done, we will not grant Indian visa to any Amazon official. We will also rescind the visas issued earlier. Well, roughly 4 hours after Sushma Swaraj's tweets, the offensive products were removed from Amazon's catalogue. Now, Amazon's portal in Canada sells doormats fashioned around other national flags. But under Indian law, any dissociation of its flag is punishable with fines and imprisonment. And now a look at what all events are lined up for the day. Let's take a look in the day ahead. Trinamool Congress MP Sudeep Bandyopadhyay will be produced in a special CBI court in Bhubaneswar today. On 10th of January, the court had remanded the Trinamool Congress MP in CBI custody for 3 days. He was arrested from Kolkata for his alleged connections with the Rose Valley Group, which cheated the people to the tune of 17,000 crore rupees in different states, including Odisha and West Bengal. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Paneer Selvam will visit the Andhra Pradesh capital Amravati today for talks with his counterpart N. Chandrababu Naidu over sharing of Telugu Ganga water. Last week, Paneer Selvam wrote a letter to Chandrababu Naidu seeking release of water to Chennai from the project. On suggestion of Chandrababu Naidu, Paneer Selvam is said to be visiting Amravati for further discussions on the subject. Well, this is the first time a Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu will be in Andhra Pradesh for a discussion on the waters, as previously they confined only to writing letters. A Bangladesh court will hear the graft cases against a former Prime Minister and BNP chief Khaleda Zia, in which she could be jailed for life if found guilty. In 2008, the Anti-Corruption Commission filed the Zia Orphanage Trust graft case against 6, including Zia and her son. It alleged that the defendants had embezzled 21 million Bangladeshi daks from funds which were meant for the trust, which reportedly came from a foreign bank. And in Breakfast News, time for a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
We have a group at our institute which is trying to understand how do stem cells contribute to wound healing and repair. The group that I'm in is actually one of the younger groups in the sense that it started more recently, and it's a group which studies basically how cells determine what they are going to be. People who are trying to understand how cells make food and how do they utilize their resources, how do they deal with less resources.
Watch Eureka with Senior Professor Apurva Sareen in STEM NCBS Bengaluru, only on Rajya Sabha television. From cowries to metal pieces, Indian currency has seen many changes. The earliest punch-marked coins came from Gandhar. The East India Company at the turn of the 19th century also minted its own coins. The Indo-Greek coins come from a colony left behind by Alexander. They depict the golden rule of the Guptas, with embossed human portraits and matrimonial alliances like Chandragupta Maurya's wedding with Seleucus I Nicetas' daughter.
You are still not seen as a heavyweight politician of the BJP.
I cannot be as effective as those people who have got 50 members or 30 members.
If you're not loud, you are not heard inside the assembly, you are not heard by the people.
Simply by shouting, the point is not driven home. The purpose or the reasoning, that is important.
People have already started saying that the party has not given you your due.
We have to bring in the younger people. The elder people will play their role.
Watch to the point with the sole BJP legislator in Kerala Assembly, O. Raja Gopal, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Well, thanks for staying with us. Well, the army has again successfully foiled an infiltration attempt in the Poonch sector of Jammu and Kashmir on Wednesday by killing 2 terrorists on the line of control. Well, the troops present along the LOC detected movement of 2 terrorists along the Betar Nala in the wee hours on Tuesday and engaged them with a heavy automatic fire. While 1 terrorist was eliminated by the afternoon of 10th of January, the second was eliminated on Wednesday. The bodies of the slain terrorists and their weapons lie on the LOC. On to some election-related news. Well, BJP's Central Election Committee met on Wednesday night to finalize the party candidates for Punjab and Goa Assembly polls. Well, the party is likely to announce the names today. The crucial meeting was attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Party President Amit Shah, Union Ministers Rajnath Singh, Arun Jaitley, M. Venkaiah Naidu and Anant Kumar. Well, as part of the alliance with the Akali Dal, BJP will field 23 candidates in the 117-member Punjab Assembly that goes to polls in a single phase on 4th of February. In Goa, BJP is likely to contest all the 40 seats alone. Well, the party's Central Election Panel is likely to meet on 15th of January next to name the candidates for the UP elections. Meanwhile, more news from Uttar Pradesh. Well, Mulayam Singh Yadav on Wednesday addressed the Samajwadi Party workers at the headquarters in Lucknow. Well, the party patriarch asserted that the Samajwadi Party will not be allowed to split. However, the impasse between the father and son over who controls the party and its symbol continues.
Insisting that his party won't split despite his talks with Akhilesh Yadav failing to produce a truce, Samajwadi Party patriarch Mulayam Singh Yadav claimed that his supporters are not forming another party or changing its symbol.
वो पूरा का पूरा बेच दिया। अब मेरे पास क्या है? मेरे पास आप लोग हैं। हम लोग आजीवन रहेंगे। कार्यकर्ता हमने पूरा भरोसा है कि पार्टी की एक रहेगी, पार्टी को टूटेंगे नहीं। सम्राट मुलायम सिंह, अपने पुत्र मुलायम सिंह देखा पड़ी कर रहे हो। न तो समाजवादी पार्टी नाम बदल रही है और नाम केन बदल रही है।
Mulayam said he had founded the party during the emergency years in the 70s when his son was just 2 years old. He also blamed his cousin and close Akhilesh aide Ram Gopal Yadav for instigating a split, even as he remained soft on his son. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav continued to meet senior leaders and party workers at his official residence. His supporters are busy crafting the election strategy.
कुछ लोग नेताजी के अगल बगल नेताजी को भड़काने का काम कर रहे हैं, दिग्भ्रमित करने का काम कर रहे हैं। नेताजी अपनी विरासत सौंप चुके हैं। 2012 में जब अखिलेश जी ने रथ यात्रा इतनी लंबी चलाई थी और पूर्ण बहुमत लेके आए तो नेताजी ने कहा था कि मैं आज ये पार्टी युवाओं को समर्पित कर रहा हूं और उसी कड़ी के तहत माननीय हमारे शीर्ष नेतृत्व ने मिल बैठकर अखिलेश जी को मुख्यमंत्री बना दिया था।
On the ground, however, Samajwadi Party supporters appeared puzzled even as they continued to express support for the rival factions. The Election Commission will hold its first meeting on the dispute related to the party's symbol, the bicycle, and the leadership on Friday. Both factions, led by Mulayam Singh Yadav and Akhilesh Yadav, have rebutted each other's claims on the control of the party and its election symbol.
At a time when election strategy should be finalized and supporters should be galvanized, the Samajwadi Party's battle for symbol is also not over. Even if the two warring factions put up a united front, it would be difficult to douse the dissent that has escalated within the party cadre. Reporting from Lucknow, With camera person Shiv Kumar, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
On to some other news now. Well, a Greenpeace India report published on Wednesday says that as many as 1.2 million deaths take place every year due to air pollution in India. Well, the report titled Airpocalypse lists Delhi as India's most polluted city. Well, the report is based on information obtained through online reports and right-to-information applications from state pollution control boards across India and the assessments of the air quality performed in 168 cities across 24 states and union territories. Well, it claims that none of the 168 cities assessed complies with air quality standards which have been prescribed by the WHO. The report further says that the number of deaths in India caused by air pollution is only a fraction less than the number of deaths caused by tobacco usage. It also says that 3% of the GDP is lost due to air pollution. And now a look at what else is making news across the country. Let's take a look in nationwide. Kanderi, the second Kalvari class submarine, will be launched at the Mazgaon dock in Mumbai today. The launch will start a trial of events that will lead to the separation of the submarine from the ponton on which it is being assembled and its final setting afloat. 6 submarines are being built at the MDL in tie-up with the UDS of France. 2 Trinamool Congress activists were killed on Wednesday while 3 others were seriously injured when miscreants opened fire at them inside the party office in Kharagpur in West Midnapur district. The 3 injured persons are undergoing treatment at the Medical College and Hospital. Now a probe has been launched and no one has been arrested so far. Opposition disrupted the proceedings of Jammu and Kashmir Assembly and staged a walkout from the House. They are demanding the constitution of a judicial commission to probe deaths in Kashmir during the 5-month-long unrest. The opposition parties, including the National Conference and the Congress, rejected the announcement of Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti for setting up of a special investigation team at district levels to probe such deaths. It was for the 4th day that the opposition held on to its demands. Portuguese Prime Minister Antonio Costa is on a 2-day visit to Goa and met Chief Minister Lakshmikanta Parsekar on Wednesday. Well, Costa has roots in Goa, which remained under Portuguese rule for nearly 450 years. Well, the Portuguese Prime Minister also held talks with the Chief Minister, focusing on ties in tourism, science, language and heritage. Costa will be visiting his ancestral home in Margao today. And India and Kenya inked 2 agreements in the field of agriculture during the visit of Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta to New Delhi. Well, India announced a $100 million line of credit to Kenya for agricultural mechanization after talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Kenyan President. Well, the both sides also agreed to deepen economic cooperation and expansion of bilateral ties as a priority, exploring opportunities in healthcare, tourism, information technology, agriculture and energy.
I am keen to increase the volume and values of our exports to India through shifting its export base from agriculture and mineral-based raw products to value-added manufacturing products, and we are seeking partnership with India in technology transfer to increase our capacity to add value to our natural products. I did also indicate to the Prime Minister that there are numerous investment opportunities in Kenya, particularly in agro-industries, and Kenya is establishing special economic zones in Mombasa.
Broad-based and wide-ranging cooperation in agriculture and food security is our shared priority. We are collaborating to raise agriculture productivity in Kenya. The line of credit agreement of $100 million signed for agriculture mechanization would open a new dimension of engagement. Long-term arrangement with Kenya for production and import of pulses is being explored and discussed. We would also be happy to share best practices in organic farming with Kenyan farmers.
On to the big international story now. Well, just 9 days before he enters the White House as the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump addressed a news conference on Wednesday where he finally conceded that he believes that Russia did meddle in the US election. However, he categorically rejected media claims that Russia had compromising information on him, saying that the allegation may have been leaked by the US intelligence agencies. The president-elect also emphasized that his political opponents were trying to undermine his presidency.
As far as hacking, I think it was Russia, but I think we also get hacked by other countries and other people.
US President-elect Donald Trump saying for the first time that Russia was responsible for hacking ahead of the election. But he rejected reports that Moscow acted to help him win. Trump also denied claims that Russia had damaging information about the president-elect's business interests and evidence of his private life, including claims of using prostitutes at a hotel in Moscow.
I think it's a disgrace that information would be let out. I saw the information, I read the information outside of that meeting. It's all fake news, it's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
Donald Trump also addressed questions about his relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin. He made his remarks in his first news conference as president-elect.
If Putin likes Donald Trump, I consider that an asset, not a liability, because we have a horrible relationship with Russia. Russia can help us fight ISIS, which, by the way, is #1 tricky.
During the press conference, Trump insisted on moving speedily to replace Obamacare. He also pledged a swift action on building a wall along the border with Mexico and nominating a new Supreme Court justice.
Obamacare is the Democrats' problem. We are going to take the problem off the shelves for them. We're doing them a tremendous service by doing it. We could sit back and let them hang with it. We are doing the Democrats a great service.
Trump also said that he had formally handed complete and total control of his business empire to his sons to avoid any conflict of interest. On 20th of January, Trump will be formally inaugurated as America's next president, replacing Barack Obama in the White House. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. Well, that did not seem like a press conference, rather a press confrontation. And with this, we come to an end of this edition of news. Thanks for watching.